Oh my God.
What's happened?
I hadn't seen you this morning. Very
What's
red.
Oh, red. Oh, right. I thought I was frightening you. I thought, what's happened?
That's better. Got you. Where you going then?
I'm not going anywhere. I just washed my hair, so that may be it. It's all fluffy at the moment, a bit gone wild, but never mind. It's because it's so long, you see. Never mind.
Very red. Very red. Well done. Anyway.
I'll go blue tomorrow, and then white the next day. Or is it red, white, and blue? So I've got to go white tomorrow, haven't I? Go and pay too much.
Very glamorous though. It puts fire in your belly for the day, seeing all the red and everything. I think, yeah, pumps you up for it. Anyway, episode 61, Saturday the 23rd of May 2020. Got a good little episode coming up, hopefully, for everybody. But we're stumped on the music again.
Hey!
It's another rollover. We're still looking for a song that links to the national anthem from the day, 2 days ago now. So I'm just going to repeat the music. And Tony Cohen was making excuses that he couldn't hear it clearly yesterday. So for
Tony Cohen?
Sorry, Tony Fulbrook. Sorry, well done, well spotted. So I'm going to put a clip on there. I mean, Tony Cohen wouldn't know how to use Facebook, I imagine. So anyway,
I think he would. He's got children. Go on, get on with it.
I think he's an Instagram man.
Is he? I'm not really that much an Instagram person. I don't like it. Go on.
Right. Okay. Here we go. That's all I'm giving still. I'm not giving any more of the music away, but I will say that what clue would I give? Yeah, think about people associated with the anthem. That's the best clue I can give.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Right now, we slipped up, didn't we? We missed a major project being completed.
Oh dear, so sorry, Hubert. We missed your post. I'm so sorry. I think I've got this thing of never looking back, so I tend not to look back at the posts. But I have done it a couple of times because people have posted on it after we've gone on to the next one. So I do apologise, Hubert. I'm so sorry. We are terrible people.
So here we go. Are you impressed with his erection? Here we go. Look, here we go. Look at that.
Very good, isn't it? Keeps the deer out.
Yeah, for those who missed it in the earlier episodes, it didn't look anything like that. There was one panel up, and that's what he's managed to achieve in lockdown. And just a bit better, I've got a little bit of better photograph. Just Hubert's my dad's cousin's son, so second cousin. I don't know if that's technically correct.
Oh, it becomes complicated as you go down the generations, doesn't it?
Yeah. He's further in line to the throne than I am, though, I suspect. Which
throne is that? I didn't realise you were royalty. Oh my goodness!
I was listening to a podcast the other week with a guy who's half American. He's got dual nationality, British and American. He does a running podcast with a couple of others, and he managed to wind up the other two to believe that everybody born in England on their birth certificate gets a number that indicates where they are in line to the throne, and he was like 200 millionth or something like, 50 millionth or something like that, and they believed it. It would be quite nice, wouldn't it, to know where you are? But
not really, because unless you're related and you're a descendant, you're not in line for the throne. It's as simple as that. Even people like Harry, as the birth of the new ones come along, get pushed back. So I mean, what's that about?
Yeah. Anyway, good appeal to my humour. Anyway, so here's Hubert. I've got a bit of photograph on that one, looking like Jim Royal from the royal family. So here we go. I've got him off his Facebook profile.
There he is. Hey.
There he is.
Well done, Hubert, for finishing your fence.
Yeah. As Hubert lives in British Columbia in Canada. We last saw him in 2016. I didn't take too many photos because it was when my dad passed away, so wasn't an occasion for taking loads of photos.
The sad day. Never mind.
Yeah. But it made me think that Hubert's completed his fence during lockdown, and there must be a few other projects that people never expected to get round to completing, and they've had the opportunity to. So be good to hear from anyone who's successfully completed a project with a suitable photo. Come on, here's your chance to big yourself up.
Okay. Who, me?
No.
Not the other people. I was going to say, I'm not into that.
Well,
Let other people do that.
You could have done a pre-starting and after caring photo of your raised beds, couldn't you?
I could have done, because I've been clearing out to put a wooden what's it called? Oh God, I've forgotten what it's called.
Raised bed.
You wouldn't know. No, it's not a raised bed. It's I've cleared out so that I can put a compost heap in there. So I've got a wooden compost heap that I've got to put together. I've cleared the area, and now I'm going to put the wooden compost in. And I made a promise to myself that I would try and keep it under control.
Yeah. All right. So
it's easier to keep under control than you.
Yeah. Yeah. Feedback. Graham Saker. He agreed with one of my unsung heroes, being Paul Hills, who sets up Kent League courses. He also threw into the mix Bill Mutlow and Pete Brenchley, who help us out at training quite a lot. And always good to see them. And that made me think, actually, a good tip in life, which we've not talked about in 61 episodes. If you're running an organisation, especially something like a sports organisation, and somebody offers to help, always, well, unless they're very exceptional circumstances, always accept their offer and find them even a little thing to do and build on it. It can make such a difference. For example, those two guys have made a big difference to us over the years.
Yeah.
So don't say, no, I'm all right. Encourage people to play a little part. They'll feel better, and it'll make your life easier, and you never know what might blossom from it, so to speak.
The other alternative is that you end up doing all the jobs, you get very frustrated, and you get bad-tempered, and then you're rude to everyone. That's the alternative. So, even if it's, your job, because you can't think of anything else at the time, give them your job, and if they feel that they're helping, they'll come back.
Yeah. And I think that's why Tunbridge Athletic Club does so well, because we've got so many people chipping in, which is excellent. Hubert also mentioned his mate Dan Brady, not Bradley as you said, because we've got a Dan Bradley.
No, I didn't say Dan. I knew it wasn't him, and I definitely didn't say that. I think you're hard of hearing again. If you wash your ears out yet again, you might help.
Yeah, we'll get on to techniques used for washing ears out. We've done that. We've had quite a good selection of instruments, haven't we?
Do we have to?
Another day. Dan, who's 65 years old, again in Canada, doing a lot to raise funds for underprivileged kids. But he doesn't just do the big things like that, big charity runs and stuff, but he also organises a weekly bike run, mountain bike ride for a few of his mates, including Hubert. And those little things do make a big difference to people, I think. It's you're always looking for an organiser. My mum is in the Rambling Club and is always banging on about the few people that actually go out of their way to organise a walk. And it's surprising what's involved sometimes. It's not just a case of, we'll go there. You have to do a little recce trip, make sure everyone knows where they're meeting, make sure the pub they're going to have a drink and a lunch afterwards is suitable, etc. So these simple things can end up taxing people to make it go well. And so somebody like Dan in Canada, that's the sort of thing I mean for an unsung hero. Not so much Angie Crush, Alan Buckle, Tony Fulbrook and others are talking about supporters at the club. They are. It is great. But many of us, and including Diane and Alan Bennett, Diane Bradley and Alan Bennett, we do actually really enjoy it as well. So it's a bit different from the example Mark Pitcairn Knowles gave us, where he drove back to that lane to pick up all the rubbish because he didn't like fly tipping. So see what I'm getting at? There's a difference in it. I enjoy what I do. You enjoy what you do. We're looking unsung is really people aren't getting any other reward.
People who do it because they can't stand, like the rubbish flying around. I mean, I was in the car park and a piece of rubbish flew past me, and in this day and age, my temptation was to go and pick it up and put it in a bin. But of course, I had no idea where it had been, etc., and I didn't have any gloves to be able to do it, so I had gel with me, but. I thought about it at the time, and I thought, oh, you're very naughty. I should have picked it up. But my pet hate is rubbish because people just don't care.
We did that. We've done that.
We've done that, so that's okay.
Yeah. Grazia needs a medal. She's had a really tough week at work.
Yeah. Well done, Grazia.
Yeah, well
it's
done.
Not easy, is it?
It's not. It's all about communication. But she's faced it all head on.
And also reassuring when you're doing something like,
careful what you say. Yeah.
When you're telling somebody, I'm going to say bad news, it's always good. Honestly, Mark, you don't trust me to be careful. Just be quiet for a while and let me talk instead of you. Rumpy. And you've just got to encourage them that it's not the end of the world, because at that moment they feel like that, don't they? So it's a very difficult time, but it's encouraging and reassuring somebody, I think, that and it is very taxing and very tiring, and you've got no one to put your arm around you and say well done. It is very, very difficult. So I'm saying well done, Grazia.
Yeah. It's not the falling down, it's how you bounce back or something like that, I think.
Getting up and dusting yourself off and getting on with the next thing, isn't it, sometimes?
It's very, very difficult. Couple of new ones chipping in. Many thanks to Elise Rendell, who watches regularly, and so kept very quiet, but she communicated on something else, so chipped in, said she's enjoying the contributions each morning. And Mr. Anonymous, who... is a bit embarrassed, but he really enjoys them. Picks him up at the end of a day because he's working hard. I won't give his name, but it's Cameron Pius's dad. So yeah, that's that.
The thing is, we're not doing this. We're not doing this for recognition or being famous or anything like that. We're doing this, just having a little chat, so that it might help, because someone might be facing the same sort of problems. We don't know, but I mean, at the end of the day, we're just saying we feel for people, because we can't help in any other way, because we're not allowed to come and see you. We're not allowed to hug you. What a ridiculous state of affairs we've got ourselves into. But it is fact that I'm a great believer that it's not going to be forever, and I feel that things can change if we all do as we've been asked, and that we stop this spread.
Yeah, well, I've got a good segue actually now, because talking of Grazia's thing of turning adversity to positivity, what about this? We had a real good incident yesterday where our daughter Nicole and her colleague Ellis have got this business called Libation Bar Events, and they would be doing weddings and parties and things where they set up a mobile bar and sell cocktails. Well, that's
and other things as well, depending on what people want. It's not just the cocktail side of it.
No. But that's all gone a bit pear-shaped, of course, because there's nothing on. So they've had to diversify, and what they've done is they've set up mobile delivery of cocktails in the local area. To do that, though, mixing the cocktails, my watch has gone off, on site requires a license. So we had to get a license sorted out.
It's a license for taking payment online and to be able to store the alcohol that they need to make the cocktails. Yeah. And it is literally a license for that. That's all it does.
Well, hang on a sec. Don't steal my thunder, because I'm going to read.
Okay.
So that's controlled by the local council, and bang, what comes out? Somebody's read
We have to put a notice up, like a flag.
offence, yeah. And what appears on Facebook is this: an adult bar wants to open on, I think it is 87 Tunbridge Road near Lye Road and Fairview Way, and the primary school, heaven forbid. They want people to be gathering outside and drinking. There is a licensing application notice outside. I expect there will be more noise, litter and glass because of it. Well, once we'd explained, most of the local residents wanted a cocktail delivered and they got 6 orders on the back. In fact, some were really disappointed an adult bar wasn't being opened here. Can you imagine that? Be lovely, wouldn't it?
It just shows you, if people don't read things properly, that you can misunderstand what a license is for, and it is frustrating. But I mean, you posted something on your Facebook as well, and to be quite honest with you, I mean, do we look the sort of people that would want a crowd of rowdy people outside our gate? Cheek of it.
Yeah, we've been quite funny. So, anyway.
I've seen the funny side of it. Poor old Nicole at one stage was pulling her hair out, thinking, "Oh my God, someone's appealed our licence." So it is. You do have to keep calm, and there are people who are entitled to their opinions. I've said before.
But as they say, there's no bad publicity, is there? You know, something like that. It really paid off. So I got a few.
Not really. I mean, good things come out of bad things. Sometimes.
Well, I had a few more things to talk about, but I think we might be running out of time, so won't be much. I think my brother Adam might be cracking up. He seems to be entering the dating online dating scene with social distancing, which would be interesting. Get a bit desperate after 10 minutes.
Do you think he might have had too many beers or something when he did post it?
Yeah.
I found it really. Adam, look, you know, you sound desperate. Try and take a step back, love, and then just let it happen.
Change his profile photos. I think that might help.
Yeah, I mean that one at the top of his head. I thought it was a shaggy dog to start with. What is he thinking?
How would you sell him, Dawn? What's the best thing going for him? What's the best thing going for him?
Oh, I think the thing is, it's not about looks. It's about what, you know, someone who makes you laugh and is on the same page, on the wavelength as you. And at the end of the day, if they're handsome, that's a bonus.
I'm not sure that sold him, being honest, but there you go. Good.
What I'm saying is, you know, keep cracking the jokes, Adam. I find him funny, so in a sense.
There must be somebody else who does as well.
Yeah, there will be somebody out there who thinks you're funny, Adam. Stick with that line rather
I
than.
think that's a good point. There are people out there being locked in their flats for most of the time on their own. You know, it's very, very, very tough. Hopefully, we're coming out of this bit by bit. I've given him a few walks he can do. Yeah. And he's got lots of friends and stuff, of course. So
when I ring
he does a lot of baking. That's a good plus, isn't it? Good.
Yeah, but when I ring him up, he thinks there's something wrong because I'm checking up on him. I never check up on him. I think he's going mad.
Okay, everyone. Hope everybody else is okay. And, you know, if you post anything, don't have too much to drink beforehand. So
think about what you're posting, guys.
Cheerio, everyone.
Bye.